show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
2. All right, Bells and Bells, what's going on, everybody? Well, we're back with you on a Wednesday with my tag team partners, JD and Joey. Man Up is not with us this week. Evening to you, gentlemen.
What's up? Look like a balloon's going off. What's going on?
What the heck going on over there, man? I know we were celebrating
it's a
something.
Party over here.
Yeah, hey, man. Apparently, it's a party everywhere, man. You just got to get out and find it.
Is it this? Is that it? They got all these new program things, man.
I know it's freaking crazy, man. It's freaking crazy. But we're back, and we're coming at you guys with a new type of thing there, Joey.
That's it. We're going to party like it's 1991 tonight. That's it.
Damn right we are.
So new concept where we take a year and we pick our top 10 favorite wrestlers from it. We're also going to come back later with tag teams. We're going to have a lot of fun with this. And I know a lot of our audience watched wrestling in the 90s, so that's kind of where we're starting at.
Exactly.
I think a lot of people are big fans of 90s wrestling, and that was a decade that changed a lot from one point to the other. So this should be interesting.
Not as we always do with our top 10. These are our opinions, but we enjoy in preparing for this. We had a little different perspective, so we're gonna tend to we go. I went more from the historical standpoint of it. Joey, you went a different way with it.
It's our top 10 favorites, so I went with my favorite wrestlers from when I was watching in 1991.
Exactly. So just putting that into context, JD, how did you do yours?
I just picked the wrestlers I like. Then
I'll do what I want.
There you go. There you go. Absolutely. Let's before I ring the bell, let's go ahead and check in everybody.
Absolutely. So we got Platinum Swords in the house. What's up, brother? Welcome.
What's up, man?
The generic one, Mr. Generic Jobber is here. He's here, Dave Meltzer style.
Love it.
Put Dave over.
Yeah,
Nesha's back.
It's not like Dave.
You got to prioritize things. Nesha, work is not that important. Come on now.
He's back. JD showing off man. If I can figure it how I do it all the time. Antonio, what's good, brother? How you doing? Hey, man.
What's up?
Your opinion matters, Cedric. Antonio is validating. He's validating you. No Man Up isn't here.
Yeah.
Can we leave WC wrestlers out of this one? LOL. Uh-oh.
Why? It's 1991.
What's up, Scott?
All right.
There you go.
Now, why would we leave WCW wrestlers out? And we're talking about 91. How about we leave AEW wrestlers out since we're talking about 1991? Why would we leave out a company that existed?
Oh, but just put this into context. 1991. This is like towards the end of AWA. Because it was WWF. It was WWF. WCW. We had New Japan, we had All Japan, we have all of those, but we had a couple of the territories still out there, but it's not.
I'm trying to fire off stuff. I'm
Don't mind
me, man. I'm Platinum and I are having a moment.
So yeah, just putting that out there, like and as to what the wrestling landscape was in 1991. So with that being said, we're gonna go ahead and get started with this with Joey and his number 10, and we want you guys to count down as always with wrestlers that you all liked in 1991. And Joey, let's go ahead and get the ball rolling.
Wait, we're going right into the top 10?
Right?
I'm confused. I'm sorry. I messed up.
Yeah.
We're just talking about 1991.
Yeah, 1991.
Yeah,
Here we go.
1991, man.
Antonio
I
says
don't know
he didn't
why.
even know about WWE. He only knew about WWF, didn't know about WCW until Hogan went over.
Okay.
That's okay. That's okay. It depends on where you grew up a lot of times
Exactly.
and what you had access to on TV. A lot.
Man, some
I
people,
don't know how
some
many
people,
places had
some people
TBS.
couldn't see it. Man, I had to trade tapes where I was to get any NWA or WCW
Good,
content.
good point. Because I'm like I had WWF available to me. I had WCW like spots of. I had to find it. I had. Oh dear gosh, it was 1991. Yeah. So
I got AWA, I had Stampede, of course, and I had WWF. I had to trade for NWA and WCW and anything overseas. So
yeah.
Wasn't AWA out of business by 1991? Because Larry Zbyszko had already been over in WCW, and he was the top guy.
They were.
It was like the tail end. I want to say they folded like in February of 91, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
somewhere around that time. So yeah. So, but yeah.
Well, that makes sense. Speaking of 1991, well, I mean, and speaking of WCW had a lot of programming at that point. If you got TBS, that's the thing. TBS, I mean, they had wrestling on Saturday morning, Saturday evening, Sunday evening. It was, especially on the weekend, it was deep. They even had a syndicated show, kind of like WWF had some of their wrestling challenge and stuff like that in syndication. Are we talking about the UWF with the big FU belt?
UW, yeah. No, it wasn't. It wasn't. Crockett bought that in 98.
No, not that UWF. The other one.
I don't think that was
one with the white belt. That when it was folded, it had an F and a U as the side plates.
That was that was in 91. They had their Beach Blast pay-per-view in 91.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I definitely never saw that in 1991. Yeah, so
Herb Abrams and UWF. Yep, exactly.
Yeah, that dumpster fire. Sorry.
I knew it was coming. So. He just kept setting it up. I knew it was coming.
Hold on. Antonio Mendoza just said UWF was good. You're going to throw shade at WCW and you're going to say, which UW? Are we talking about Herb Abrams, UWF you enjoyed, and you're pooping on WCW over here?
Oh, man. I was 11 in 1991. Can we go back?
Emotional damage.
I was in 91. So
I was around 11 too.
So yeah. All right, Joey, kick us off. Here we go.
All right. So let's get into the top 10. Let me get my top 10 list out here. All right. I'm going to start it off with a guy I think was still in the prime of his career in 1991. My number 10 is beautiful Bobby Eaton.
Okay.
The guy we're going to talk about next week right here.
Absolutely.
On the show. We're going to have a whole show dedicated to beautiful Bobby. Mm-hmm. But during this time, he had that run as the world television champion. That's why I still got my belt on over here.
Yep.
And then it led into later in the year for Bobby Eaton, when we would see him transition back into a heel, form a super team with Arn Anderson as part of the Dangerous Alliance, and become WCW World Tag Team Champions, which come on. You put one half the Midnight Express and a Horseman together. Come on, man. That was a super team in of itself.
Exactly. I can definitely go with that. Spoiler alert for later on. All right, JD.
My number 10 is Crusher Bam Bam Bigelow. Not Bam Bam Bigelow, Crusher Bam Bam Bigelow. So this is 91.
Okay.
He just left WWF in 88, and he went over to New Japan Pro Wrestling. 87 through 92, he was kind of going back and forth. When he left the WWE, he had a lot of heat in the WWE locker room because he got a pretty strong push there early on in his career. Wasn't very popular in the locker room. Had some knee problems. Went over to New Japan and kind of reinvented himself, formed a badass tag team with Big Van Vader called Big Bad and Dangerous. If you haven't seen their matches, definitely go check some of that out. They're awesome. Had a lot of world title shots over there for the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship, and had a whole lot, and actually won the IWGP Tag Team Champions with Vader in 92. so the year after 91. But this was a year of reinvention for him, sort of reinventing himself, getting himself healthy over in Japan. Had some amazing matches. That was a place where he could really use his speed and his size and mobility and really sort of show off his athleticism. So if you can catch any of the videos of him over there in this time period, 90, 91, 92, some really impressive stuff.
Good stuff. Good stuff. All right. Y'all keep y'all countdowns going, man, because we're going down 10-1. At number 10, I'm gonna start off with former AWA World Heavyweight Champion, Jumbo Tsuruta. In 91, I wasn't privy to Japanese wrestling and whatnot, but I became familiar with it in doing my freaking research. Winning the Triple Crown from Stan Hansen in January of the year, being champion throughout the most of the year, had a banger of a match with Misawa JD in 91. So I got Tsuruta at number 10.
Almost made match of the year, actually. Yeah, that was a hell of a match.
Awesome.
Let's just check in. Yeah, let's check in with a few folks here. So I think I saw up here that Scott had mentioned he got Stunning Steve all day.
Okay.
Yeah, great choice. He had a solid 91. Let's see. We had Generic had Hulk Hogan.
Okay.
Says he has to put him on the list, so he's in the 10 spot.
Okay.
Did somebody force you to put him on your list? You make it sound like you ain't got to. It's your list.
Nesha says she was 11 and 91. Or no, somebody else says, no, it wasn't Nesha, I don't think. I was 11. No, she did. Yeah, I was 11 and 91. Can we please go back? I was another.
I'm good. I don't want to go back to 91.
Apparently, Mr. Powell has a TNA belt arriving tomorrow. That's exciting stuff.
Oh, yeah. I talked to him offline about that. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah,
Welcome, Mr. William. Hey, welcome, William. Thanks for watching.
Absolutely.
Yeah, man. Thanks. Absolutely. Joey, we getting old? Nesha says here.
Nice.
Well, you are, but not me. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, he says, sorry, loves the downhill cocaine drama.
Damn it.
Steve says, so many good guys in the business, 91. Love Bobby Eaton, one of my favorites. Absolutely.
His number 10. That's his number 10. Okay.
Yeah. Antonio, I think that's in reference to Bam Bam. He did better in Japan. Absolutely. And I won't go on to the others. Yeah. Oh, wait. Platinum had DiBiase, number 10. Very nice.
Okay.
That's a solid choice.
Okay. All right.
Love it.
All right, Joey. We're back to 9.
All right, number 9. He was just spoken of, so I'm going to go throw him up there. Stunning Steve Austin.
Okay.
Man, oh man, this guy was having a run in 1991. He was that's the year he would defeat beautiful Bobby Eaton and become the world television champion, and would pretty much reign that entire year, most of the year as the world television champion from the moment he won it. Point where later in the year he himself joined Paul E. Dangerously's Dangerous Alliance. And that just made it even better all year round, and getting to see him in tag team matches, working with Ravishing Rick Rude as a partner at times, sometimes teaming with Arn or Larry Zbyszko. I enjoyed that whole dynamic, but this was definitely a big year for Stunning Steve, and I was a huge fan of his at the time.
Awesome. Good stuff. I love it. All right, JD, who you got in 9?
For me, number 9, it's Rick Rude in WCW. Rude debuted in WCW in 91, came in, immediately formed the Dangerous Alliance with Paul E. and Medusa, and won the U.S. Championship off of Sting. I mean, what better debut can you have than coming in and taking the second top title in the company within the first couple of months of your debut? And I think, in my opinion, I know there might be a lot of people that are WWF fans that would disagree, but I prefer his WCW run over his WWF run. I'll take that in.
Hands down.
Absolutely.
He was definitely held in much higher regard. He was treated as a main eventer in WCW, and he could back it up. That's the thing. He was definitely perceived as a top guy there, especially as the U.S. champion. But we'll get more into that later.
Yeah. Spoiler alert. All right, and at number 9, Generic Job will appreciate this one. I have go and bring up the first winner of the G1 Climax. Man, I had him in here. So yeah. So that I saw that little interesting tidbit. I think he won the G1 Climax the most. So
yep.
So
This is pre Yakuza sort of gimmick, and he's
Right.
he's the squeaky clean baby face. Yeah.
At that time, I wasn't watching at that time, but looking
Yeah.
back now, that was when a lot of Lou Thez was still around with him
Yeah.
too and stuff.
Absolutely.
Who trained him?
Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
Lou was still making shots in Japan.
He was.
Absolutely.
So Masahiro Chono at number 9. So
Actually, and Lou would often man him, would often second man him to the ring quite often over there,
Yeah.
just to help give him the rub and
Yeah.
whatnot. So yeah,
Lou Thez was a
absolutely.
god over there. They
Oh
like,
man, yeah.
that's why when people talk about wrestling Mount Rushmores, if Lou Thez ain't on there, I don't know what wrestling you're talking about. I'm just saying.
just saying.
Okay, let's check in while we're on that. Let's see. We had who did we have? Let's see. I don't want to miss anybody here. Okay. So we had for number 9 for Scott was Muta.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice, solid choice. Platinum had Rude at 9 also.
Mhm.
Right on. Let's see. We had Generic with Muta, Keiji Muto. Great year for him winning the IWGP belt and going on a monster run. Yeah, that's who we had for 9 spots today. So.
And I see Generic Driver approved my Chono choice. I appreciate that, Driver. I appreciate
Sweet.
that.
There we go. Generic one proves. There we go.
Awesome. All right, number 8, Joey.
We're already on number 8. All right.
Yeah.
Here's a guy that returned to WCW in 1991, and that is the Russian Nightmare Nikita Koloff. Attacking the total package Lex Luger, destroying the NWA US heavyweight title belt. Beautiful belt. And then starting that hot feud with Lex Luger that was really good. And then later on, he accidentally attacked Sting, and then they had the Russian chain match, which Nikita won. When Sting, do you remember Sting gave him the Stinger Splash into the corner, and that's how Nikita tagged the 4th corner. So Sting was on the offense, but Nikita somehow won. But anyway, then he became full-on babyface later in the year.
Of course.
And this was his last hurrah, in pro wrestling. Was this run in WCW? But Nikita had been wrestling in the AWA where he had grown his hair out and stuff, and just wasn't the same. So when this Nikita came back in with the old look and stuff, it kind of brought back a little bit of that magic, and I definitely enjoyed his run in 91.
Absolutely. Good stuff. All right, JD.
I won't go too long into this because we already talked about him, but my number 8 is Steve Austin. Debuted in WCW 91, won the TV title off Bobby Eaton. Of course, he was at that time working with his what would we call those? Valet. Thank you, Lady Blossom. Stuck on the word. Yeah, you could just see greatness in the guy already. I mean, nobody saw Steve Austin Stone Cold in him yet, but he was a big guy that could move. He was doing some really technical wrestling. Great talker, good talker on the mic, and got an immediate rub with the Dangerous Alliance, which was great for him. So,
absolutely.
I love that stun gun finishing move too.
I know. So quick, so effective. So
yeah.
Now it's a transitional or just something. Oh dear gosh! All right. I'm gonna take it to WWF now at number 8. I have Sergeant Slaughter at number 8, off the sheer fact that he did the Iraqi sympathizer gimmick in the midst of when we're at war with Iraq. The amount of heat that he freaking got, him and his family, I had to put him on the freaking list because this was the most hated man in wrestling at the time, because it's like, how dare you? Then he won the championship too. Yeah. So some of the best stuff in wrestling kind of parallels what's going on in the world, and this was freaking huge. This was freaking huge because it did a lot.
Also, too, like from a historic point of view, this was still kind of early in Vince getting comfortable to book heels as champion. So like this was probably one of the biggest sort of swerves in booking in the WWF at that time. Like nobody expected Slaughter to go over. in that, and so that was pretty compelling, pretty compelling storyline at the time. Add to that all the combustibility of the Iraq War and the politics at the time.
Absolutely. So yeah, that's what.
And he deserves a lot of credit for dragging the Ultimate Warrior around the ring. That dead piece of crap. I mean, dead. That's not what I meant. Piece of. I meant that dead weight piece of crap. Excuse me. Pardon me for that. Leave that out.
All right, we got Scott. The number 8 is Vader. Solid choice. More to come. Let's see. Who else do we have here? Oh, yeah. We also have Generic with Big Van Vader holding multiple world titles in 91 was a major because he was also the IWGP champion as well.
Okay.
Where else was Vader a world champion in 91?
Rick Steiner at 8. He reminded me of my brother at the time. Nice.
Okay.
So let me preface this, though. We're kind of keeping our lists to singles wrestlers.
Yes.
Rick was wrestling some singles during 91, but I'm just saying we're keeping I kept the Steiners out of my list because, or the Road Warriors or anybody because they're tag team guys mostly. Just prefacing that. Sorry.
Absolutely. All
but
right.
if you want to put tag teams down, Platinum Sword.
Whatever, I'll do what I want.
But I would say keep it too because we're gonna come back to with 1991 tag team. So y'all just let you know it's coming.
Says the guy that had Bob Eaton.
Well, in 1991, he wasn't wrestling in a tag team.
He wasn't.
Until the very end.
Exactly. So
touche.
He was world television champion wrestling Ric Flair in a 2 out of 3 falls match at the Clash of the Champions and stuff. So definitely had a big singles run in 91.
Absolutely.
Oh, Ness is mentioning he's put it on any biography. Sarge got death threats.
I'm sure.
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, we're up to number 7.
Yep, there, Joey.
All right, my number 7. I'm going back to my home area of Memphis, Tennessee, and I'm pulling at Jeff Jarrett.
Wait. Whoa, wrong one. That's mine.
That's yours. Sorry.
Yep, there you go.
Okay, we know Joey's. We'll come back to it. Go ahead, Cedric.
Yeah, Jushin Thunder Liger, 1991. IWGP Junior Heavyweight title. Eventually coming over to WCW. Having great matches over there as well. Jushin Thunder Liger at number 7. I was wild first time I saw him. I was like, wow.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Sorry, it's a little bit blurry here when it's off the screen, and they both had long hair, and I saw that. I saw that. Yeah.
Well, for those.
They look a lot alike on the off screen.
All right, so a lot of people who aren't really big fans of Jeff Jarrett or aren't fans of Memphis wrestling wouldn't know. Long before Jeff ever made it to the WWF, he was a huge baby face everywhere else.
Look at that guy.
Look
at that guy. He's for goodness sakes.
Super over baby face, super great. And in 1991. He started the year off with a couple reigns as the USWA heavyweight champion. Also having a USWA tag team title reign with Jerry the King Lawler, and as well working some with Big Ron Fuller as a tag team on and off throughout the, but always maintaining his position as a singles wrestler too. Jeff was red hot as a babyface in 1991 in USWA. Absolutely. I was a big fan.
Generic jobber coming hard with the knowledge.
No, that's what I asked him for. I hope he's educated.
Yes, absolutely.
I didn't know that.
Man.
Yeah,
there you go. What is up, Grandpa? What's up, brother? How you doing, Ben Walker? Welcome.
We all know him from the Bolt Hobby.
The Bout Hobby.
This
awesome.
loves some Memphis wrestling.
Absolutely.
All right, so now that I messed up your choices, sorry about that. My number 7 is Mitsuharu Misawa.
Okay.
This is the year after he has dropped the Tiger Mask gimmick. He is establishing himself as a singles and tag team wrestler. He is also establishing himself as one of the 4 pillars of heaven in All Japan Pro Wrestling. we're starting to see some really dominant mat style based wrestling. He was wrestling predominantly as a high flyer with the Tiger Mask gimmick. That was beating him up pretty badly. His legs were a mess. So he made a concerted effort to switch to the more of a mat-based game, and we started to see some pretty exciting matches. His match with Jumbo was almost voted match of the year. So we were already starting to see greatness in this guy. So one of my favorite years, his breakout year for sure.
Absolutely. All right, checking out in the crowd. And
checking out the crowd. Yes. So we had what are you on 7? So we had solid Stan Hansen being the Triple Crown champion, WCW US champion.
It did not.
So it was a major deal. It didn't get enough US coverage. Sorry, good sir, was a lot of birthdays ago. My new number 8 is Muda, and number 7 is Nikita. Fair enough.
Okay.
I mean, that's true. That's true.
2 weeks in a row, no man up. I know.
Yeah. I'm loving it. I'm absolutely loving it. Number 6, Joey.
We're already around to number 6. All right.
Yeah.
I got a guy that was also another guy that I thought was red hot in 1991, and that's the total package Lex Luger.
He had a hell of a year.
U.S. heavyweight champion, dominating a lot that year. Super Brawl that year, teaming up with Sting versus the Steiner brothers. That was an incredible match. Then going into where he was supposed to wrestle Ric Flair for the World Heavyweight Championship, and then ending up winning it over Barry Windham, walking in the U.S. Heavyweight Champion, walking out the World Heavyweight Champion.
He had a strap the whole entire damn year. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
Yep. Incredible. Good feuds with Rick Steiner, with Ron Simmons,
and Sting as well.
Yeah.
Well, at the end, they kind of started building for the 1992 Super Bowl match, where they would eventually have their world title showdown. But I know at Battle Bowl that year they had stared off into that and stuff and got into it a little bit. And then of course the whole angle that led to Rick Rude winning the U.S. heavyweight title with Luger clipping Sting's knee, taking him out and setting that up. But Luger is a heel world champion. If you've never seen it, go back and watch it.
He had Harley too, for goodness sake.
Oh yeah. And Mr. Hughes.
Oh, and Mr. Hughes. It was
a heavy on top of
that. Just realized we skipped Scott's number 7. He had Regal. Solid choice.
Awesome.
Steve Regal.
Where'd you watch it? Where was Steven Regal at? Were you watching British wrestling back then? Because
must have.
Wasn't in WCW. I'm like, where were you watching him at? I'm just curious.
Blackpool.
Oh, excuse me. You the actual Blackpool Combat Club?
Back when it was in Blackpool, it's crazy. JD,
when it was in Blackpool. Number 6, he's already been mentioned. Keiji Muto, the Great Muta. I mean, he literally just blew up in the United States market with his run in the NWA WCW in what was that?
From 88 to
88, like 90.
Like the tail end of 90.
So now this is him coming back over to New Japan, his home promotion in 1991, and he's reestablishing himself as a star in the same way that Mitsuharu Misawa was paralleling him, and he was establishing himself as one of the 4 pillars of heaven. Keiji Muto was establishing himself as one of the 3 musketeers in New Japan. And so he was becoming, by 92, he was already IWGP World Heavyweight Championship. And he was flipping personas back and forth. He was primarily wrestling as Keiji Muto, but whenever he had an opponent that he had trouble with or he was having a few losses to, he'd whip out the Great Muta and he'd smash him. A lot like what Finn Balor was doing in the WWE whatever they're
clearly
doing
inspired. Inspired by Muta.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right, and number 6, we already brought him up already. Beautiful Bobby Eaton. Exactly. Started the year as World TV. In the World TV title, had an excellent match with Ric Flair at Clash of the freaking Champions.
That was amazing.
That was a great freaking.
They had me believing Bobby Eaton was about to be the World Heavyweight Champion.
Exactly. The way they did that match was like when he won the first fall, like
clean with an Alabama jam. Yeah,
exactly. I was like, I actually watched that one live, man. That was great. I was like, okay. Okay. Yeah, so they did a very very good job establishing them as a singles. I thought it was going to go further than that, but yeah, but if it wasn't in a single run, like you said, getting a team up with freaking Arn Anderson, man, I'm good lord, man.
How could you not do that?
You can't go wrong with that, man. That was
we didn't know what we had. We did not know what we had.
we didn't deserve that at all. We didn't.
So then we had Scott had Texas Tornado number 6 for him.
That's a good one. All right,
love that. Love that. I think I saw another down here. Yep, Platinum had Larry Zbyszko for 6. Always like that.
Welcome to Larryland.
Loving it.
Mindless sheep.
And we had Mr. Perfect Kurt Hennig. His IC run ended with Bret Hart SummerSlam Classic.
Spoiler.
Oh yeah, we're gonna get in. Don't you?
We gonna dive
talk 1991 and not mention that man. So we
exactly. So,
well, speaking of Bret Hart and SummerSlam Classic, who you got, Joey?
That's a spoiler. My number 5 had to be Bret the Hitman Hart.
Okay.
I mean, another guy. When you're talking about 1991, that was a big year for Bret the Hitman Hart. Walking in as a WWF Tag Team Champion, where we kind of saw the end run of the Hart Foundation. That was kind of
it was his breakout singles year. Yeah,
he was.
Yes. Losing the tag belts to the Nasty Boys, but rebounding on that amazing singles run, taking on everybody, building up. I mean, that was a perfect buildup. He was getting red hot as a single, and then walking into SummerSlam, how over he was and how hot Mr. Perfect was. You know, that match was amazing. And then Bret from there just setting a standard as Intercontinental Champion for the rest of 1991.
Absolutely.
Wrestling everybody again, wrestling everybody. So yeah, like you said, breakout year for the Hitman. I don't know. Not many people had a better year than that.
Exactly. Exactly. Good stuff. All right. JD.
For me, what are we on? Number 5. I had the Big Van Vader over. So he was splitting his time between WCW and New Japan Pro Wrestling in 90 and 91, coming back and forth. In 91, he was on his 3rd IWGP Heavyweight Championship that he won from Fujinami, and he was becoming already a monster heel in the U.S. market. We would see a lot more from him, obviously, coming forward. But these were the years where that sort of that Japanese sort of like monster heel sort of persona really sort of established itself in WCW. I think he got a little diluted as he went in WCW and definitely in WWF. But this is when he was, I think, perceived as being that really dangerous monster heel. So I love this time period for him.
Good stuff. Good stuff. All right.
All right. Who you got?
What we have? We have 5?
Yep, 5.
We have 5. I got the Nature Boy Ric Flair at number 5. Coming in as the WCW World Champion.
NWA World Champion.
NWA, then
he was stripped of the WCW.
Yeah, exactly. So coming. Okay, I was wondering if I was gonna get a graphic. Okay, coming in NWA, WCW had the freaking match with Fujinami, and yes, so that Super Brawl, the match with Eaton, then leaving in July of 91, then end up coming right to the WWF. That whole reveal with Bobby Heenan having the big gold on WWF TV, that was definitely a wow moment for me. I was like, wow, they actually, that was huge. 91. It was just a precursor to what he did in January of 92. So I got Ric Flair at number 5.
Love it. We had for Scott, we had Rick Rude, solid choice. Okay. Yeah, that's a popular choice tonight. Who else do we have down here? We had let's see, 6. Oh yeah, here we go. Jumbo Tsuruta, the ace of All Japan. It was winding down, but he was still putting on great singles matches. Yeah, absolutely. And Platinum had Sting for 5. Solid choice.
All right, this stuff. All right, home stretch, guys. We appreciate everybody coming along this ride with us. We're at 4 there, Joseph.
All right, I got one of my all-time favorite baby faces from this time period, Flying Brian.
Okay.
I loved Brian Pillman in 1991. I liked most of his years in wrestling, but this one in particular was a lot of growth for him that would lead later on to bigger things in 92 and stuff where he would get pushed bigger. But 91 saw a lot of teaming with Tom Zink, a lot of which Tom Zink was one of the guys that came over from the AWA after closing, and then Pillman and he would have a U.S. tag team title reign, a short one. But Pillman brought a lot of that high flying action, and that's kind of a good infusion to WCW at the time. They didn't really have guys that could that quite had the athletic ability that Flying Brian had. But I was a huge fan of his in 1991.
Cool.
Okay, good
Solid.
stuff. Good stuff.
Scott, what do you got here? Matthews went on a tour world in
Yeah,
Germany.
he's talking about Regal.
Oh, but Regal, he worked WWF UK Rampage show on April 24th, 91.
All right.
Cool. Did not know that.
I'm just shocked you saw I'm wondering if you actually saw him wrestle in 1991, because I didn't see him the first time until he first came to WCW. So
That's
I'm
cool.
like, wow, like that's
cool.
Okay.
All right. For me, number 4, I had to go with Sting.
Okay.
Yeah, he had just finished his world title reign in 91, went on to win the U.S. championship, had a really great year, started feuding with the Dangerous Alliance. It was awesome. He was clearly positioned as the man in WCW that year, and would continue on in that position for a few years after.
Okay. All right. Good stuff. All right. At number 4, he had a lot of freaking range in 1991. And I'm talking about Jake the Snake Roberts. He started 91 feud. Is the blinding thing where he got arrogance sprayed in his eyes. With Rick Martel, they had work the whole blind thing. And ended up with that match at WrestleMania. Then we started seeing more of the darker side. With the Ultimate Warrior coming in with that freaking awesome feud with Macho Man coming out of SummerSlam. So hell of a freaking range in 91 for Jake the Snake Roberts. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. Scott came up.
People don't talk about that enough.
Nobody's
been able to do a blindfold match worth of crap since then.
Yeah, exactly.
Scott had Undertaker at number 4.
Okay.
Solid choice. Let's see. We also had Generic and I on the same page with Sting. He was at WCW 91 for a lot of my people and myself.
Okay.
Was. And for 4 is a tie for me, Taker and Jake Roberts. So there you go.
Okay.
Solid.
All right. Back down to 3.
All right. Now my number 3, we talked about Bret Hart earlier. Number 3, I've got Mr. Perfect, Kurt Hennig.
Okay.
Again, do we really need to get into this?
Don't worry, I will.
Let's keep it moving, because most fans know. I mean, come on, 1991 was amazing.
We're gonna touch on Mr. Perfect. JD, number 3.
I chose, which might be a controversial choice for 91. I chose Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. I mean, he had just come off the year in 89-90. He had just come off his hellacious run with Ric Flair. It was amazing, and I love this year for him because he found himself again in WCW. He went to WWE, went back to WWE the first part of 91, got saddled with this fire-breathing dragon BS that they gave him. He never really lost a match on TV that entire year, but they really didn't do anything with him. I read in some cheat sheets that he had actually proposed going heel that year in WWE. He was so frustrated with the writing and the booking that he had proposed to wrestle under a mask and wrestle heel until somebody revealed his identity later. Instead, he opted to leave his contract, went back to WCW, and went on to have some great years in WCW.
Dear gosh. Yeah.
So
yeah.
So for me, this was the year where he found himself again, and so for that reason, I think it was great. So.
Boy, I'm glad he didn't end up under a mask because they probably would have put him somewhere stupid like in the Orient Express or some crap.
Yeah, you never know.
Imagine having bad. Never mind.
God. Okay. Number three. You know I can't leave my dude off the list, and that's Macho Man Randy Savage. Again, more range from him as well in '91. Feud cracking the scepter over the Ultimate Warrior's head, causing Sergeant Slaughter to win the WWF title. Leading to that awesome match at WrestleMania 7 with the Ultimate Warrior retirement match.
Was that match awesome though?
Well, he drug it out the Ultimate Warrior.
He got the best match anybody ever got out of the Ultimate Warrior. That's for sure.
Better than the WrestleMania 6 match?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
To me, Savage looked weak in the match with the Warrior.
Yeah.
Like he threw everything at him, elbowed him 4 times off the top rope or whatever, and then still.
It was also kind of symbolic, like it supposed to be the retirement match or whatnot. It's like kind of like put him out the pasture type of thing. But
I would say Rude and Macho got the best matches out of him for sure, out of everybody on the roster. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, but then reuniting with Liz, he went on commentary. They had the whole thing with Jake the Snake. Then that feud was freaking crazy. The freaking snake biting them on TV. I don't think you can do that kind of stuff now. But they censored it and everything. But that was the phase when WWE had that big old red X that they would put on.
Well, what they didn't know is that cobras have hook teeth. Mm-hmm. So when they bite onto something, their molar teeth sort of hook into the flesh, and you can't pull them off. Uh-huh. So like once the cobra got on, until the cobra decided to let go, that was it.
Exactly.
So he was gnawing on him for a while.
That night beforehand that Jake had to let him bite his own leg.
Yeah, he said, like you first.
You made him do it first to prove it wasn't.
He didn't have any venom in it.
Oh gosh. But yeah, then Tuesday night in Texas, man, they were telling the hell out of that story, man. Mm-hmm. I love that. Still to this day, one of my favorite feuds, man.
Awesome. So. Scott had Stan Hansen in number 3. Mm-hmm. Awesome. And we go a little further down here. Let's see. We had Fujinami. First person to simultaneously hold both the IWGP and the NWA World Title. Mm-hmm. It is impressive. Absolutely. Scott giving a little backstory to the English connection, friends, dad contacts in the UK that would send tapes and trade tapes. Nice, solid.
Nice.
Big Daddy fan or whatever his name was.
Platinum Swords. Number 3 is Sid.
Okay. All right.
Moving on to number 2.
All right, my number 2 is Ravishing Rick Rude.
Okay.
Of course, I had to put him. I'd be like, come on.
Yeah.
Debuting at Halloween Havoc as the Halloween Phantom. Mm-hmm. Little known fact, though.
Yes.
I actually got. We had a cable access channel that caught a company out of Parsippany, New Jersey, that was originally called ICW, International Championship Wrestling, and then later changed to after they. With a blessing from Kevin Von Erich, they changed to International World Class Championship Wrestling. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Rick Rude had actually appeared on there and had built up a feud with the Honky Tonk Man. Believe it or not, and they were.
Well, I had read he was trying to compete in a number of different federations in early '91, but the WWF served him a do not compete a cease and desist. Because his contract wasn't completely over yet, so he wasn't able to really appear on television anywhere until the contract ended. Thus, the WCW, and actually, while he was on TV with the mask as the Phantom, his contract still wasn't up yet, which is why he appeared as the Phantom, and then revealed his identity later.
That review,
Yeah.
that review was freaking epic, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Talk on Paulie.
Yeah, and Medusa with him in his corner was great too. Like that was the perfect
Oh
the
man,
perfect
yeah.
match. It never made sense to me. To me, that's why I always said Bobby Heenan never really fit with Rick Rude. Rick Rude needed a lady. Like I don't know what it was, but to me, like that fitting that together with Medusa in his corner was perfect to me.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Is it me next?
Yeah.
Number 2. Already been mentioned. There's going to be more mentions.
Yeah, we're going to touch on it.
I mean, the man was undefeated in the WWE from 88 to 90, and then went on to be IC champ from 90 to 91. I mean, that was one of the best builds, going from sort of mid card to what should have been a world championship run that you could ever have, and he ended up having one of the best matches of the year, if not the best match of the year, with Hitman in 91. So,
yeah,
I mean, he's a big reason why people covet and love that Intercontinental Championship design that Richard Parks designed. He is such a big part of that, and I mean, Perfect truly was a top guy as Intercontinental Champion. You know, he was definitely no mid carder.
No.
I know that's not what you meant, but like,
I know.
That's what I'm saying. He elevated that belt.
Yeah.
Like he took it to another level.
And I mean, the man was rocking a fisherman suplex as a finisher, and nobody was getting out of that. It was one of the most protected moves in the promotion for 3 years. So
nobody executed that move like him either.
No.
Absolutely.
Scott mentions Barry Windham as his number 2. Solid.
That's cool.
Okay,
that's a good one. Go ahead there, Cedric.
Number 2, Bret the Hitman Hart. Yeah. Are we going to continue beating this drum? Yes, we are. Yes, we are. Coming. Yeah, finally getting that freaking run. The run that he had in 91 is the one I thought he was going to have after WrestleMania 4. Maybe when he double crossed Ben was Brown double crossed him in the battle royal, and he had him on a semi run. So maybe that was preparing this run here in singles. But I was definitely glad to see it. I love the freaking moment he had with his parents right after that match at freaking SummerSlam, and he went on be a dominant champion. So yeah, absolutely, Bret Hart at number 2.
Love it. Let's see, checking in here. Platinum Swords had Savage at 2. Number 1 should be pretty obvious with my heel selections.
Is that right?
Yes.
Generic had Ric Flair jumping to WWF while still being the NWA champion was huge. It was a matter of time. I agree. Facebook Nesh says Kurt was a great wrestler. Yes, he was. Awesome. His footwork was unbelievable. Just watch the man's footwork. It's just the way his positioning, how light he is on his feet. It's just how he can move. His kip ups, all of it. Scott Aarons. Well, you should be working all kinds you wanted as long as you filled all your use different chemistry.
Yeah, well,
maybe it would have been allowed.
Yeah. Well, and that became more of a thing. Especially when companies start releasing you, and they have the 90-day clauses and stuff like that. So,
well, they didn't have to. That's just when you're being a jerk.
Yeah. So,
well, and also too, when we started getting into the era of guaranteed contracts, then you started getting into contract obligations and carryover. So,
but this was long before that. So
it was.
That's fair.
Exactly. All right, number ones, Joey.
All right. It's All right. Number 1. My number 1 is Sting.
Okay.
It's probably not surprising, but I mean we've talked quite a bit about Sting, and I'll just say a little bit. Yeah. Coming off of Luger winning the World Championship, Sting winning the tournament to be U.S. Heavyweight Champion, which I believe I can't remember if it was the final, but I remember he had a real good banger in the Omni with Stunning Steve. While Steve was the TV champion in this tournament,
I think that was
to crown the U.S. champion. But yeah, Sting was definitely front and center as the top babyface the whole year, And again, going back to that match with him and Luger and the Steiners, it was like a dream match. You basically took the 4 biggest baby faces in the company at the time and threw them in a tag team match for the tag belts. That was incredible.
Mm.
But yeah, the storytelling was real good. Like the stuff with Rude. I mean, Sting, I don't think Rick Rude ever had better chemistry with anybody other than Sting. Like the two of them just gelled together immediately with their combined abilities and the matches they were able to produce. And that first match where I mean, Sting was kept super strong, obviously, even in defeat, where he had a bad knee and he still almost beat Rude. Rude still had to screw him to get the U.S. title off of him. So yeah, 91, it was a great year for Sting.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Solid. Love it.
JD.
Number 2, Bret Hart.
Wait, one.
Yep. It came down to I could have honestly switched Kurt Angle or not Kurt Angle, Kurt Hennig or Bret in the number 1 or 2 position, for my opinion. They had the match of the year. This was Bret's breakout year as a single star. Everything that he went on to accomplish was built in this year. This determined whether or not he was going to get a run at the World Heavyweight Championship that year. Obviously, he impressed them enough that they did send him in that direction. He wrestled. He did it old school. He grind all through that year. Had some amazing matches with a lot of wrestlers with a lot of different styles. And I'm Canadian, so what are you going to do?
Of course, absolutely, sure, absolutely,
completely
absolutely.
Awesome. I mean, that's like you said. He grinded and he brought wrestling to the WWF. Him and Kurt Hennig really did. They brought a different element. They as the Hogan era died of silliness and wrestling looking as silly as it did, to going with guys like that were snug, that could really go in that ring. And Bret really brought that. Bret was brought a certain amount of intensity there that nobody else really had. And I'm not talking about screaming in the camera.
Intensity, but also another word that I think we don't talk enough about in wrestling: integrity. He brought integrity to what he did, and that's like, because he believed in it, he made us believe in it, and so
absolutely,
that was it.
Yeah, when he locked in moves, stuff like that, he made them look real. Like it's not that hard if you're good at what you do.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But JD, me and you are on the same page. Well, my number 1 is Mr. Perfect, Kurt Hennig. Freaking dominant freaking run as Intercontinental Champion, man. And the guy was freaking smooth in the freaking ring, man. Like, when you think of wrestling and thinking of execution and everything,
I know it sounds crazy, but go back and watch any Kurt Angle match you want to in that time period between 80 and 91. Hennig, sorry, I keep saying the wrong name. Kurt Hennig, and watch his feet. The dude never puts his heel down on the canvas. He's always on the ball of his foot or on his toes. Like he's never flat-footed in the ring.
I love his running freaking drop kick, man. That is just so freaking smooth, dude.
Yeah, the dude's just, the footwork is unbelievable. So
the selling, the selling he could do was nobody else could do that. He's probably in 1991. He's probably the best at selling there was, especially with Bret. In that match with Bret again. The selling he did for Bret in that match, knowing he had a broken back pretty much and was in excruciating pain, and you got to know that Mr. Perfect was running that match. He was that was a clinic for Bret to learn in at the same time. But the way he put the sharpshooter over at the end, where he just barely sat down and he was already calling for the bell, like he was done. It was amazing. Like he just, the way he sold just. It's great. It's the storytelling aspect of it. That's what I think part of what made him and Bret so great in the ring together.
Absolutely.
And it was definitely an old school lemonade out of lemons, because he essentially took 3 years of momentum and heat and believability, and he passed it on to somebody else to make use of it, because he couldn't, because he knew after that match he was going to have to retire. So he did the right old school thing, and he passed it on to somebody else and let them take the momentum. So
strap the rocket to Bret at that point.
So hats off, man.
Imagine Brett in 91 getting to beat Mr. Perfect in that manner, and then in 92 getting to beat Piper when nobody beat Piper.
Exactly.
So
hindsight, no, what we freaking knew. They put that match at SummerSlam at number 2. Was
crazy.
Was that the right call?
Not in my opinion, but that's my opinion.
They're like, follow this. They couldn't.
Yeah.
Oh no, not when you put. I mean, and granted, they had a lot of heat in the Slaughter big tag team debacle, but come on, man! Not after seeing that beautiful wrestling match, you can't.
That definitely deserved to be up higher on the card. All right, guys, we made it through.
Nice.
Awesome.
Nice.
Oh, yeah. Hit those number
we should check in. So we just had Scott with Sting, which was awesome. Platinum. Woo!
Okay.
Yeah,
Buddy Landell.
Brett the Hitman Hart being the first person to kick out Perfect's Perfect Plex. Yeah, that was it was protected. Yeah. Made me believe in wrestling in 91.
Absolutely. He deserves a hell of a lot of credit.
Hulk Hogan, number 1 all-time favorite for Nesha.
Okay.
Yeah. Did you take your vitamins, Nesha, every day?
Say your prayers.
Your prayer, take your steroids. I mean, vitamins.
Whoa.
Dang it.
Keep the gloves up, Joey.
Sit in the tanning bed for 2 days straight.
Oh, man. Awesome. Good stuff. Good show there, guys. Y'all stay tuned because like we said, we're gonna come with 1991 tag team. So y'all go ahead and prepare, get y'all list ready for that. We definitely thank everybody for watching. We thank everybody who subscribe to us on YouTube. Continue to support us. We're at 750 something now, Joey. So we're somewhere
3 as of today. So yeah, we're on our way to 1,000.
Exactly. So
giveaways.
Exactly. Like, subscribe. Because we do the live show, we do the shorts, we do belt unboxings. So we do it all. Bells and belts and everything in between. We have the giveaways coming up, Joy. That they need to subscribe on YouTube, and where else they need to be a member of.
So you're going to have to be subscribed on YouTube, and you're going to have to be a member of our Facebook group at Bells and Belts, because that is where the event will actually take place. Mm-hmm. It will be a raffle style event. And so you will have to have both, okay? Because you will be able to enter through the Facebook group. That's the only way. But to enter, you'll have to drop your YouTube handle, and once the winner is chosen, it will have to be confirmed that they are a subscriber on YouTube. So go ahead and save yourself the trouble of that and subscribe. And most of you guys watch are in the Facebook group, but if you're watching on YouTube and you're not in the Facebook group, go out of your way to join that, please.
Awesome. And JD is always doing an awesome job with graphics and history and all that good stuff. You can catch more of that where, JD?
Come check us out at Champions Belt Club. Come see us. Come hang out. We do daily trivia. We do daily, we got 3 or 4 different kind of quizzes going on now every day. And we've got a Friday Fantasy booking poll. We are right now going through the top 12 greatest NWA, WCW, World Television Champions of all time. And come hang out. And also our membership, I think, is right at the 666 mark, which is freaking Tony Thorpe out badly all week. So somebody got
to join. All right?
Somebody better join because Tony's having a fit. So,
oh my gosh, we want good juju. I love it.
Good juju. Yeah,
awesome.
Absolutely.
Awesome. So next week, our monthly our career retrospective. We are doing beautiful Bobby Eaton next week. So make sure that's what you guys voted on in the Facebook group. We definitely appreciated that. So we're gonna bring that to you all next week. So bring your memories of Bobby Eaton.
It's all good, Scott. Don't you worry about it, brother. You ramble you go ahead and ramble, brother.
Absolutely.
Feel free. If you find some good Bobby Eaton matches, go ahead and share them in the group. I encourage it so we can all get inspired and ready to go for that. And like JD said, if you're not in Champions Belt Club, when we're talking about TV champions, come on, it's your chance to be a part of that. And
tell us
Bobby
who you
Eaton
think should be the
great
man.
TV champion.
Absolutely.
Come on now.
Thank you, Mr. Walker. Thank you.
Awesome. So until then, for JD, for Joey, I'm your boy Cedric D, and we will see you guys here next week here on Bells and Belts.